Night one of SummerSlam is officially in the books, and my God, did I need WWE to have a night like this because this felt like a shot in the arm, a breath of fresh air, whatever you want to call it. I needed this night so bad because this night felt like WWE was back in like 2024 again. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't a perfect night by any means, but this was the best WWE PLE that we have had in quite some time. At least night one so far. I thought that this night was solid from start to finish, and it started off good, it ended pretty good. Probably my most favorite part of night one from SummerSlam was the fact that there were little to no ads. The ads that were on the show were part of entrances, and it didn't ruin the flow of the match. It didn't take away from any of the match times. So I was okay with having the advertisements be placed in some of the entrances. We saw it for the Usos, we saw it for Cody Rhodes. And I was just a much bigger fan of WWE doing this as opposed to what we got at WrestleMania, which was just ridiculously loaded with ads and had legitimately more ad time than it did actual wrestling. So those were my overall thoughts on night one. Let's get into recapping the rest of the matches. But real quickly, before we get too far ahead in the video, I want to say that if you are a WWE fan, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. That is all we post is WWE related content. So if you are a WWE fan, again, consider subscribing. It's free. You can change your mind later. Starting off with the match that kicked off night one of SummerSlam, and that was Liv Morgan defeating Io Sky to retain the Women's World Championship. I was extremely critical about this feud heading into SummerSlam, but we all kind of had a feeling that this match was going to be good. I think that they exceeded expectations here. Both Liv and Io were absolutely incredible in this match. We had a really good fast pace right from the get-go, and I think that really kind of set the tone. Did have me a little nervous because it felt like that WrestleMania had a lot of matches get off to fast-paced starts like that, and they all ended ridiculously fast because of the ads. We didn't have that here. And the pace continued throughout the entirety of that match. We obviously had a feeling that the Judgment Day ladies were going to get involved somehow. We saw Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez get some interference in there. Didn't have any major implications on the finish of the match, so ultimately, I was okay with that. The big thing for me was that there was no Danhausen. I was extremely worried that they were going to throw Danhausen in this match somewhere, and it was just going to completely ruin things. But no Danhausen, just the Judgment Day ladies. Big thumbs up for me. Again, I already talked about how both Liv and Io were great in this match. You had Io Sky hitting a gorgeous moonsault. You had her nailing a beautiful Spanish fly. And you also had Io Sky kind of doing a little bit of an Oblivion move. And I really, really liked that. Liv obviously kicked out of it, and the match continued even further. Io also would go on to counter a Oblivion from Liv Morgan, doing this like head handstand type thing. I don't know how she did it. That was awesome. And ultimately, Liv Morgan ended up picking up the win and retaining her Women's World Championship against Io Sky in a match that was a fantastic start to night one of SummerSlam. And again, I think this match just really set the tone for what was yet to come throughout the course of night one. I thought this match was better than what we saw at Night of Champions, and I was a big, big fan of that match as well. This one, again, despite how terribly booked this feud was, this match delivered on every level. Moving on to the six-man tag team match, which saw the team of LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys defeat the Usos and Jacob Fatu. Again, another fast start, which saw all six guys get into it, and we had a brawl right from the get-go. And our first real one-on-one in this match was Jey Uso versus Solo Sikoa. And Solo Sikoa continues to win over the crowd, and especially here when he does the Jey Uso run it back thing. Then Solo got the absolute snot beat out of him by all three members of the Bloodline. Then we finally got to see Royce Keys in the mix, and Royce Keys looked absolutely fantastic in this match. He really, really impressed me. He can move so good for a guy that is that size. Like, he is really, really fast, really, really good. Him doing that avalanche slam on Jimmy Uso, where he just somehow managed to pick up Jimmy Uso, who is not a small lad, mind you, and still managed to land that avalanche slam, was nuts watching that. And again, a guy like that who has that type of power that can move like that, I think this match opened a lot of eyes to Royce Keys and showed just what he is truly capable of. And this match really started to work towards the LA Knight hot tag, and we finally got it, and LA Knight went to work. And then we got to see this really fun sequence where all six guys in this match got to hit their big moves. Then we had the barricade spot where we saw Royce Keys power slam Jacob Fatu over the barricade into the timekeepers area. Again, Royce Keys seriously impressed the heck out of me in this match. I knew he was good, but he really, really showed up in this match. Then, when it looks like the Usos are about to hit LA Knight with the 1D, we see Solo Sikoa nail Jimmy with the Samoan spike. And that led to LA Knight obliterating Jey Uso with the BFT and pinning Jey 1-2-3 ball game. LA Knight, Royce Keys, Solo Sikoa get the win, and we get a really fun moment after the match between LA Knight and Solo Sikoa as well. Again, this match was insanely fun. Royce Keys looked fantastic. LA Knight continues to look fantastic. Solo Sikoa continues to win over the crowd. Big thumbs up for me. So far, SummerSlam is off to a fantastic start. Moving on to what was probably the most pleasant surprise of the night, Gunther defeating Nick Aldis. We saw Gunther getting a lot of the offense in early, which was kind of expected, but Nick Aldis still was looking really, really good. I kind of like the fact that we saw Gunther kind of talking trash to Mickie James, who was married to Nick Aldis. And we even started to get some "you still got it" chants from the crowd supporting Nick Aldis, and I 100% back this. Nick Aldis looked absolutely incredible in this match. And Nick Aldis continued to show some amazing work, hitting a gorgeous elbow drop onto Gunther. Then we had a fun back and forth where we saw both Gunther and Aldis try to get some submission finishes. We had some really nice, good looking technical wrestling here. But Gunther's sleeper hold was unfortunately too much for Nick Aldis, and he taps out and loses his match at SummerSlam. But Nick Aldis deserved some serious credit for how good of a performance he had in this match. And he had a beautiful moment with his family in the middle of the ring, getting a standing ovation from the WWE Universe. This was an awesome moment, one of my favorite moments from WWE in 2026 so far, and one of my favorite moments from night one of SummerSlam. Moving on to the 6-women tag team match between Fatal Influence taking on the team of the Bella Twins with Paige. And I will say, starting off, this was probably my least favorite match of night one. And it wasn't even that it was that bad of a match, because it wasn't a bad match. It was a pretty fun match, but there were some moments that just felt a little messy to me. And it started to feel kind of messy for me when all 6 of the competitors started getting together and they were kind of all over the place. It wasn't like what we saw in the 6-man tag team match, which saw all 6 guys in the ring having a brawl. This one was more all over the place, and it just felt like the way WWE was cutting from spot to spot to spot, trying to fill in, trying to capture all of the different little scrums that were going on. It just felt kind of messy to me. But it did manage to get back on track, and again, it ended up being a really fine match. I think everyone in this match got to have their big moments, which obviously is the whole point of having a match on a scale like a SummerSlam. And again, no one really looked bad, out of place, none of that. And things really could have went off the rails quickly when we saw Brie Bella get injured. It was something with her arm, either her shoulder, elbow, something along those lines. Then we had a nasty rolling encore from JC Jane, who ended up picking up the win for Fatal Influence. So Fatal Influence continues to look good up on the main roster, and we got a kind of a big twist at the very end where we saw the Bellas both turn on Paige. Now, in my preview video, I talked about how I thought it was going to be Nikki Bella who turned, but it ended up being both of the Bellas. Now, what that could lead to with Brie possibly being injured, still yet to be seen, obviously. That could completely throw whatever they had planned out the window. So hopefully Brie's injury is not long term, it's nothing serious, and they can continue with whatever story they had planned for that, because it did seem pretty interesting, actually. Moving on to the match that a lot of people had as the main event of night one, and that is CM Punk defeating Cody Rhodes to retain the Undisputed Championship. And this match felt like it was the main event because it was a very long and drawn out match, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The match was really, really good, really, really solid, but it did kind of have that long drawn outness that sometimes a main event match does. And a lot of that time was spent with Cody Rhodes having his arm injured, then CM Punk having his knee injured. Obviously, Punk kept targeting Cody's arm, Cody kept targeting CM Punk's knee, and they kind of just did that back and forth for a while. So this match had a lot of building towards what was the big parts of this match. I liked getting the back and forth submission moves between Cody and Punk. We saw Cody getting Punk into a figure four. We saw CM Punk get Cody Rhodes into an Anaconda Vice a couple times. And one of those submission moves came off of a really, really good, really clean counter from an Alabama Slam from CM Punk. At one point, CM Punk, for whatever reason, tried a moonsault. This did not go very well, and I don't think you're going to be seeing WWE replaying that spot anytime soon. And I also don't think you're going to see CM Punk ever trying to hit a moonsault ever again. Then things started to really pick up. We had the nasty table spot where we had CM Punk jump from the top rope, trying to put Cody through the announce table. Cody moved last second, and Punk landed so awkwardly on that table. That really, really was a nasty spot, and that really could have ended extremely bad. Then we had the ref bump, and if you have watched these recap videos before, you will know that I'm not the biggest fan of the ref bump. And of course, CM Punk hits Cody Rhodes with the GTS, but there's no referee. Then, the bigger twist of night one, Randy Orton returns to nail Cody Rhodes with an RKO. Now, unfortunately, there was some kind of sloppy camera work that showed Randy running to the ring, which it's Randy Orton. His entire thing is coming in out of nowhere, and it wasn't really necessarily out of nowhere, but I'm always gonna go insane when I see Randy Orton because he's my all-time favorite. But Randy hitting Cody with the RKO leads to CM Punk coming in and pinning Cody. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk retains, and it appears as though we're going to get a redo of the Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton feud. Again, this match felt like it was supposed to be the main event, and I think it was very clear by just how the match went and how it was very long and drawn out in the very beginning of the match. Then things started to really pick up towards the end, and it all came together with Randy Orton's return. This was a very, very good match, and another feud that was just terrible, but the match was pretty good. And that would take us to the main event of night one of SummerSlam 2026, Obafemi defeating Brock Lesnar in the Hell in a Cell match. Again, another quick start to a Brock and Oba match, which is something that we've kind of grown accustomed to with these two. Then we had the table spot, and this was kind of our first real, big bump, but that was nothing compared to Oba getting his face caved in by the steel steps. Brock Lesnar did not hold back with those steel steps. Then Brock continued with some nasty, nasty chair shots, and it felt like Brock started to kind of dominate a little bit here. Then things start to pick up even more. We see Obafemi rise back up to his feet. We see him pick up Brock Lesnar, toss him like a bag of garbage, and then we see him do a fall from grace, but Brock Lesnar kicked out. Then it was Brock Lesnar's turn, and then Lesnar hits 3 straight F5s, only for Obafemi to once again kick out. Then we had Brock Lesnar ripping the canvas and exposing the wooden boards from the actual ring. This was something that was really fun, really cool, a nice twist to a Brock and Oba match. And then probably the craziest moment of night one, Brock Lesnar hitting Obafemi with a tombstone pile driver onto the exposed boards. And what's even crazier about that is Obafemi kicked out. Then Obafemi hit a fall from grace, which I think was supposed to be on the boards, but they missed the boards. But still, Oba ends up hitting the fall from grace, pinning Brock Lesnar. 1, 2, 3, ball game. This match, it was very, very, very good, but I wanted to see more. For starters, it didn't really necessarily feel like a Hell in a Cell match. I would have preferred a little more usage of the cell itself. This match just kind of felt like it was a street fight. Now, not saying that this match was bad. Again, this was an extremely good match, and what we got in it was brutal, and that's exactly what I wanted to see from this match. And I absolutely loved the Undertaker references here. Brock Lesnar doing the sit-up. Then we had Brock hitting the tombstone pile driver on Obafemi. Oba obviously kicking out like we talked about earlier. Love those little touches between Brock Lesnar and the Undertaker. And then after the match, we saw Brock Lesnar go back into the ring, hug Obafemi, and cut a really nice promo that really, really put Obafemi over. Again, this match, was it exactly what I wanted? No, not necessarily. Was it a bad match? Absolutely not. This match was awesome. It was maybe not necessarily what it should have been, but what we got was still very, very good. I just don't really feel like it felt like a Hell in a Cell match, and I also just would have liked it to be a little bit longer. So that is my recap of night one of SummerSlam 2026. Again, a night that I needed so desperately, and I'm sure that if you have not been a fan of the WWE product as of late, a night that you so desperately needed as well. Tonight, again, it just felt really, really similar to what we would get in the 2024 PLEs. Everything just seemed to click and fire on all cylinders, and everything, for the most part, made sense, which is a lot more than what we can say about some of the other PLEs from WWE this year. Again, from start to finish, the matches delivered. It started with Liv and Io getting the night started on the right foot, having an amazing match. And we finished with a fun match between Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, even if it wasn't necessarily what we wanted from that match. So this is where I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts on night one of SummerSlam 2026. Did you enjoy the night? Did you not enjoy it? Let me know why you did or you didn't. As always, don't forget to leave all of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. And while you're down there, swing by the description and click the Linktree link. That is the only link in the description for a reason. That is because it will take you to all of the social media platforms for this channel. I do strongly suggest going and checking out our X page besides YouTube. I am most active over on X. We do updates for Monday Night Raw, Friday Night SmackDown, and the PLEs. I had a tremendous amount of fun doing updates over on X, and I will be doing the same thing for Night 2 as well. And we are also over on Instagram and TikTok as well. Over there, you can expect clips from these videos, and it's just another place for me to post when I do upload a video on here to YouTube. So if you do enjoy these videos and you're looking for some extra content, again, Linktree link in the description. It'll take you to wherever you want to go. So with all that said and done, that is going to do it for this video here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed it, hit the subscribe button. Again, both are free. Both really help out the channel a lot. And of course, if you have made it to this point of the video, I want to say thank you very, very much for taking the time out of your busy day to watch these videos here, because it genuinely does mean the world to me. And as always, stay tuned for more WWE content coming in the future. We'll see you next time.